Transition to the shot. No, the first one, that one. Spacebar. Hello,
you want
guys.
to use the general?
Don't know what's happening over here, but we're trying to press the button to go live, and it's still got the title. So I'm going to get up and have a look. Stand by. I'll be back. Well, I'm pressing the button to go live. Let me see if I can do it from my MIDI console just to see if that's any better. No. Hang on one sec, guys. I'll be back. Yeah, that's nothing related to it. Okay, so guys, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to quickly stop the stream, restart Wirecast, and hopefully it'll come back as well. So just stand by a couple of moments. We'll be back. Okay, let's try that one more time. I didn't have to restart Wirecast. It was one of those things where we should know, but we made a boo-boo. So let's transition to the next shot now. There we go. This time we've got it right. Hello and welcome. This is Oz by Drone. I'm Greg, and apologies for the little bit of a late start today, but we're here, and we're live. So hello to everyone in the chat room. Thanks for joining. Thanks for being part of the show. Now, in the month of January, I mentioned that we're going to have a discussion on some of the things that happen behind the scenes to produce the live show that we do every week. And this is what I call Wirecast in the Wild. So we're going to get into that in a couple of minutes. But before we do, a few little special announcements. Number one, if you could have a look at Discord. Now, there's a link that automatically gets pushed into the chat room every now and again by our channel bot. Mel, if you or one of the other guys could repaste that link, if it's already come out today, that would be good. Joining Discord is cool because there's actually more than just text chat in there. There's also an audio chat room. Think of it as a party line where all of our regulars can chat between one another. So there's a room called General, and instead of just typing in the chat room, you can actually hear each other and you can talk to each other. So that's really cool. A little bit later, I'm going to go and put that Discord live to air. So what you are saying to us in that room, we're going to hear you. And in fact, Mel is in a private little Discord at the moment. Are you there, Mel? I'll get you to unmute yourself. Let's have a look. Mel the Phantom Trucker. Let's see if you can unmute yourself, or maybe I need to do that. There we go. Are you there, Mel? No, we'll wait for him to come in. He'll come shortly. In the meantime, while we're waiting for Mel, a couple of other things, some housekeeping and just some general news. So the interesting things... Here. Ah, there we go. He's there. Hello, Mel. How you doing? Hello. I can see his thing flashing. Are you there, Mel?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, how you doing? What's happening? Mel, you need to listen to the Discord chat, not to the live to air chat. Otherwise, you'll get very, very confused. Anyway, look, long story short.
Doing good.
Good, yeah. Listen to the Discord chat, mute your YouTube chat just for a couple of minutes. So what Mel does, he's the person who's putting all of these chat messages to air. And we'll share a little bit of the behind the scenes of what's on my screen and how that gets to Mel onto my computer and how that goes to air. We'll do that a little bit later today. But first, let's have a quick little chinwag. In the chat room and here, everyone's heard about Heathrow and Gatwick and all of this kind of stuff. Now, the interesting thing, hi Sully, nice to see you in the text channel. The interesting thing is that Heathrow happened and there was all of this big shutdown of the airport. But what we don't know about is what was really there. So, you know, everyone's heard of the local police over there saying, hey, there maybe wasn't a drone ever, right? That is a possibility. And the reason why that kind of message was going out at the time is that there was no concrete evidence. There was no clear photographs. And the only information that was there was, you know, people saying they saw something. What was something? It was something in the sky. We can call it at the moment, we don't know that it's a drone, we can call it an unidentified flying object. Now, what was interesting is that from sources close to me, I heard that there was previously installed something at that airport that was able to detect drones in the air. Now, surely not every type of drone is able to be detected using the particular equipment that they had there. That is a possibility. But there was nothing on that scope, on that device. And then subsequently, there were other devices installed by the military and others at Gatwick. And throughout the entire incident, there was not one sighting electronically confirming that there was actually a drone in the air. So really interesting. And then when you go to Heathrow, a much bigger airport, now I don't know what systems that they had there, but I would be very, very surprised if there was nothing at Heathrow before the event. But let's assume that there was at least one drone detection system. If there was real concrete scientific evidence, Heathrow would have already published that today. So here's my question for, you know, the mainstream media. What is it that really happened? If there was something at Heathrow, show the evidence. We know there was an unidentified flying object, but we've got nothing more than that actually saying it was a drone. Anyway, that's all I wanted to quickly talk about on that particular topic. What I'm going to do next is we're going to go and have a look in the voice chat room and we're going to open that up. So I can see Drone Strike and Sully in the voice channel. Mel, I'm going to go and switch to that general chat room. So I'll see you in that room in a couple of moments. Let's do that. Hello, Drone Strike and Sully, are you there? Drone Strike and Sully and the Phantom Truck and Mel, I see you're there as well.
Yep, we're here.
So guys, this is a way that you can actually talk back to each other. And this conversation, normally I won't put it to air, but Sully and Drone Strike and indeed anyone else that's watching the show live today, if you come into Discord, you can have your say. Possibly in the future, as part of our regular live shows, we'll put the general channel to air. and have people able to provide feedback on whatever topic we're talking about on that particular day. The interesting topic of the day at the moment, drone strike. Sully, Mel, any thoughts and comments about what's happening with Gatwick and Heathrow? Now, there is sometimes a bit of a delay if they're watching the live stream. But any thoughts, Mel?
I'm having trouble hearing you, Greg.
You're having trouble hearing me?
Yeah,
Okay.
but it's on my end.
Okay. What about you, Sully and Drone Strike? Any thoughts or comments about Heathrow and Gatwick? Anyone else want to join in the chat room here? I can see. Let's have a look.
Drone Strike and Sully in the Discord chat.
Yeah, but they're not talking yet, so they're trying to verify their accounts, I gather.
I told them they had a microphone and a headset.
Okay. Look, we'll get back to them later. Perhaps they'll come into the room a little bit later. So here's what we're going to do now. Now, like I said previously, we normally have there's Drone Strike. Are you there?
I'm trying to figure out which microphone.
No problem. While you figure that out, I'll just share, we normally have a very big prepared show. The month of January for me, I'm thinking of as a bit of a holiday. I'm doing this Wirecast in the Wild thing. No scripted, prepared stuff. I'm going to show you more behind the scenes, and we'll get started with that in a couple of moments. But I'll just see if Drone Striker's got any thoughts about Heathrow and Gatwick.
Well, yeah, there I can see. I can see that I can.
I can hear you.
Somebody hears me at least.
Yeah, I can hear you.
There does seem to be quite a bit of a delay between. Well, you're on the other side of the planet, so I would assume there would be.
Yeah. So the audio that happens inside Discord is live, but the audio that happens to YouTube goes through the YouTube engine, and there will be quite a delay. So you'll have to excuse that. There is definitely a delay there.
Okay, that makes sense. And I'm only getting bits. You're coming through every so often. It skips a little bit. So I heard Gatwick. So, I saw the news about that.
Okay, so let me see if I can just change my Discord preferences, and it may be my fault. My account, audio, input mode, push to talk.
Well, if Drone Strikes was hearing the same thing, maybe it wasn't on my end.
Okay, let me see if I can change that.
Yeah, you sound perfectly fine, like you're sitting in the next room.
Mel does. Okay, hang on. One more try. Preferences. No, I'm not going to try and sort this out on the fly. I'll go back over here.
Well, that makes me feel good. Thank you.
Here we go. I'll do this. So at the moment, you should be hearing me a lot better now. I've just changed the sensitivity into Discord. Is that okay?
Well, where are you at? Are you in the States or?
No, I'm in Australia.
I'm in West Tennessee.
Ah.
Okay, I'm in Ohio.
Okay.
So can you guys hear me yet? Is this working now?
Snow from last I saw.
Nope.
We had tried to do some freezing rain this evening here.
This worked perfectly during testing. Hi,
Welcome,
Ken, I
T-Bird.
can see you on the screen. Let me do one more quick try.
No, I have
here.
the YouTube feed muted, so I can't hear what Greg's saying in the YouTube.
Yeah.
And
Voice
he
and
can
audio.
mute this coming in at will, or he can mute an individual.
Okay. So here's what's happening. The Discord chat that I had hoped was going to work really well. This is our first time testing it, and it's not working great today. I might mute that from the live stream. We'll share that another time. You guys can chat amongst yourself in there. Please feel free to do that. I'll do some more testing with that at a later time. So I'll catch you guys a little bit later. I'm going to sign out of Discord so we don't get distracted. Okay, so back to the point. What are we actually talking about? Today is Wirecast in the Wild. I was going to try and share a new particular feature today. That's not to be. So what I'm going to do instead, we'll continue a little bit of what we were doing last time, which is the Huseby drone checklist. So I'm going to start. My remote console, NDI. And then we'll get the checklist up. Oops, wrong URL. See, this was going to work really well. I was going to have you guys on the side able to fill in while I was doing some of this stuff. Okay, nearly there. Why is nothing going right for me on my computer today? gregkuhnert.com/ Hey Siri, tell me a joke. You know what's funny? My computer downstairs, my HomePod heard me, but my mobile phone up here didn't. Can you tell me a joke? No, it doesn't want to. Okay. Finally, I've got the checklist up. So we were looking at this last week and I've got it on the screen again now. So we got up to the point where we were doing all of the chroma key, testing the titles, setting our YouTube output settings and adding audio effects and switching transition speed. So all of those things are the final bit. We finally get to the point where a document for doing a live show is completed. Now, there's one last thing that we always do before doing a live broadcast, checking lights, clothing and appearance. Sometimes I've forgotten about that and I forgot to turn on the lights before the show. We remembered today. Setting Rendezvous to feed from the live camera output and start streaming. So those are the final checks for the show. Now, my wife at the moment, she's going to go away. She started the beginning of the show, but instead of sitting around for the rest of today, she's going to go and get a drink for me because it's really, really hot up here. But anyway, that's another story. So that's all of the checklist. We got to that last week. Now, the next bit, we accept a guest into Rendezvous. So we're going to do that now. So I'm going to go and move over to the computer where my wife normally sits, and we're going to go and invite a guest into the show. So bear with me as I move over there. And at the same time, I need to move my microphone. Now, I just saw someone in chat asking about what happened to Ken's show last night. It was a good show, but perhaps Ken can share. There's some fun and games with that yesterday. So let me go and add a camera. So there we go. Ken's just cut and pasted something for that. So someone, the BBC, didn't like something that Ken shared, a modified Dr. Wow opening, and lots of fun. Anyway, so this is, for those who didn't see last week, this is the actual real room. There's no real studio behind. This is what it normally looks like. Now, I'm going to share my screen at the moment, so let's do that. And I'll get rid of the chat off the screen just for a few moments. And I might make that full screen as well. Screen capture. Configure. Now, unlike the regular shows, this is definitely unplanned, so apologies for the kind of free-flowing look of the show. So in the top left-hand corner, this is the Rendezvous Dashboard. Now, what happens, we open this window as part of starting the show in the left-hand corner up here. This is what we're sending to the guest. Now in Rendezvous, we can send either this, or we can send, this is the normal camera where I sit over in that chair back over there, or we can send a live production feed to our guest. That's what the guest will see. Now this URL that I'm about to copy, and then I'm going to go and open up YouTube, and I'm going to paste it in just to share with people what are some of the things we do with Rendezvous. So I'll go into YouTube. So there's the link. Now this link changes each and every time I start Wirecast. It's like a random password that starts every time. You share that to your guests and they click on that and they join. If anyone wants to, you're more than welcome to. Now, when the guest comes in, what do you need to do to get them into Wirecast? That's what I'm going to share today. So whoever wants to come in, you're more than welcome to do that in the next couple of minutes. So while we're waiting for that person to join, so over here, this is where we normally have John Morrison, our co-host, sitting on that TV screen there. So I'm just going to change that back to the default. So when the show normally starts up, there's just a placeholder there waiting for John to come and join. Now in a couple of minutes, one of the people in the chat room, I'm sure, will help out and be the fake John Morrison for the day, and we'll put him into that placeholder. Grumpy Vlogger, is it writing or you don't like the choice of doctor or both? Discord asks if I have an invite. Skydance, the Discord link is published periodically by our Nightbot. So if you scroll back in the chat room and look for that, you should be able to find that. So, still waiting for a guest. Anyone who wants to join, that would be really good. So did they unblock you yet, Ken? I'm curious. Unblock that video? Sorry about the fan noise in the background. It's pretty hot in this room, and certainly I've moved the mic into an unusual spot today. Ah, there we go. We've got Tor. So on my screen, I've got this little thing over here, a little face. I can add Tor to the Rendezvous dashboard. And there he is. Woo! Now, at this point, I can hear Tor, but you can't hear him at all. So I'll just move this window out of the way. So what do we need to do once we've got a guest sitting over here to bring them into Wirecast? Now, I can hear myself with a hole in time and space. So if you could mute your YouTube Tor and just listen to the, yep, he's got it. Okay. So over here, the next thing I need to do, this 1, 2, 3, fourth layer down is where I have all my standard shots. So this first one over here, let's say you're going to be the pretend John Morrison. I do a change source, source B, Tor, and then he's on the TV screen. Over here, same thing, change source, source B, Tor. Now those shots, I've got them so that the audio is muted over here. I deliberately do that because I don't want the audio to follow the shot layer. If I had that audio turned on, every time I moved away from Tor on screen, I wouldn't be able to hear him. So down here, I've got another layer. This is my audio layer. And I'm going to replace that as well. Oops, helps if I do it down here. Change source, source B, and we've got Tor. Now if I then send that shot live, which I'll do now. So we've got Tor and you can now hear him as well. Hi Tor.
Hello.
Okay, now there's one other step that's part of what I do each and every week. As soon as you add that guest there, I could hear him before, but you couldn't. But now I hear him twice. So I've got echo in my headphones and reverb and all of this kind of stuff. So there's one other step that we do every week when we're doing Rendezvous, and that is we mix minus Tor and we turn that local monitor audio off. So the one that's going to air, we don't hear, we only hear the preview audio that's from the Rendezvous dashboard. So let's try that again. Hello?
Hello.
And it's working. Where are you, Tor?
I'm at Woolies.
You're at Woolies?
Yeah, you know, living the camper life, you gotta go to Woolies, and yeah, my wife is in the store and I'm just sitting here.
Yeah. So this shot that you're looking at right now, to my usual audience, my hand is where in front of the camera that normally goes to air, whereas I'm sitting over here in the producer's spot at the moment. But Ooh. There we go. So that's what we do when we bring in a guest into the show. Now there's one more piece of magic just to share with people. So Tor's over here and his audio is there and he sounds all right. But sometimes, in fact, very often our guests have a little bit of audio in the background, some hiss or some pop or all of this kind of background noise. So there's a couple of effects that we do in Wirecast, and this is only available in the Pro version. So first of all, on the dynamics. Now, Ken, I'd be really curious on your opinions on some of these settings, but this is what works for me that I use every week. Got a limiter and I've got a gate threshold. So the gate threshold is saying any audio, anytime it's below the threshold, it's going to not send that to air. So the background wind noise or whatever, it's just going to cut off that channel. So that's the gate threshold. And the limiter is going to stop his channel from overdriving when it goes to air if there's some really high audio going out. Now, Ken's an audio guy and he's doing all of this in hardware and he's got a lot of really expensive equipment to do that with, and that's good for him. I don't have the expensive equipment, but I've got this software solution instead. So, Tor, do you want to talk now?
I can talk, yes. There's a bit of background noise here because I'm obviously in the car, so...
But the good news is that background noise is no longer going to air. So the only thing we hear is when you're talking and it's above that gate threshold that I showed a couple of moments ago. In fact, did I put that on screen? I think I didn't. Let me just do that one more time. So over here, dynamics, and I set the limiter to -1 and the gate threshold to -35. So those are my two numbers. Now, I'm going to go back over here for a minute. I'm just going to see if I can put myself into source A, FaceTime camera. There we go. So at least we can have both of us on the screen. It's not really the way it's designed to work, but at least we're both on the screen.
Hey, it works.
I'll add one more thing. I've put the chat back on the screen, so if Mel, if you could put up any comments from people or questions about what we've looked at so far. Just to quickly recap, how to bring in a guest with Rendezvous. So number one, you open the Rendezvous dashboard, you start the session, you get the link, you send it to your guest. Once you've sent it to your guest, they're going to join the session. Most of the time, the guest will have some clothing on their upper half of the body. I'm just hassling Tor. I know it's Australia in the middle of nowhere, but it's all good. So we bring the guest in, then we add them into our shots. You can use the method that I had of using templates. You don't have to use templates. You could use, you could create those shots on the fly. Definitely creating a separate audio layer, definitely a good idea. So I'm just looking for the chat changing, and it looks like it's not moving at the moment. Let me jump down here. Thomas, it's not working. It's very helpful for making the squeaky noises not so pitched. Yep. The compressor you're putting on Rendezvous is neat. The same can be applied to videos for better audio. Yeah, absolutely. I can hear you on Discord. Not sure if my mic on the headset is working. It's just a cheap headset. Okay. Is Tor using the car's audio? Are you using your Bluetooth from the car, Tor, or is it just...
No, I'm actually using my MacBook Pro's internal microphone. So if you hear me and it's good, that's a plus for the old good MacBook.
That's a plus for all those people who use real computers. Macs, wonderful machines. Think you're going to break the seal on the Vegemite this weekend. So Centroid aerial images, cool. 400 AGL has been chatting in Discord and forgetting to post the chats. Okay. So there we go. So that's a quick little summary of Rendezvous. At this point, I'm going to go and do something. I'm going to go back to the screen. Hello, Therese.
Hi.
Hope you didn't mind. Did you know you were on the show live today?
Oh, that's all right.
Did you know you were on or not?
No, I didn't know. I was just in buying some breakfast, and suddenly I'm here on the camera.
So we've been doing a quick little demo of some of the features in Wirecast, and Rendezvous is what I've been looking at for the moment. The next thing I'm going to do, I'll let you guys disappear and go and have your breakfast. Thank you for being my crash test dummy.
No problem. See ya.
Okay, see you later, guys. What I'm going to do next is put on, go back to that computer over there behind me. So I'll change that over there, change source, or say I'm going to put it back to that camera. There we go. And I'll get rid of the question mark on the screen just because it annoys me. So there's Tor, we'll turn him off. Now, what I'm going to do from back there, I'm going to share a little bit about what happens with the titling and the chat and how it gets on the screen. So let's go for a walk back to the normal studio position. There we go. So this is the other Mac that I use. This is my MacBook. And on here I do Title Alive control for the show. Title Alive is a piece of software that you get an eval version with it when you get Wirecast. Let me see if I can put that on the screen now. There we go. So title alive, I might just get rid of that studio shot in the background. And the chat. There we go. So this is title alive. Now, hypothetically, each and every week, I've got a spreadsheet of things that I'm going to have that are going to go to air. It's a simple spreadsheet with title and subtitle. Now, for those of you who are technical and geeky, it's a CSV file, comma, separated values, just a spreadsheet with two things in there. As part of my run sheet, I've also got a third field that's not used by title alive. It's just kind of an ID number of what it is that I'm going to be sharing next on screen. So, for example, let's say at the beginning of the news segment in the show, I have something for news, what's happening. And I press that button, and that's what would normally go to air. Now, at the moment, I'm not sharing that, but let me go and remove the titler screen, and I'll share that one more time. Okay. Now, the good thing about Title Alive, you've got a whole heap of titles in a library that you can use as part of building your show. So if I go over here, let's pick something. I'm in camera frames. Let's say I wanted to build a new title for something as part of the show. I'll go and drag this one down. Now it is running a little bit slow today because I've got the screen capture running at the same time, so just understand that. Attributes. So I'm just going to put the words Therese and Tor in there. Now what you can see over here, there's a circle. That circle at the moment, because the computer's doing a bit of extra work of screen sharing, it's taking longer than normal. Normally I would just type in the words that I want in that title, and that would be good to go. At the moment though, it's running a lot slower, so I might just quickly turn off that NDI for a couple of moments and see if I can get that to come to air a little quicker. So just trying to free up the computer to get that information processed. So Title Alive, the whole intent of this application, you've normally got someone who's your graphics person, ideally separate to your talent or your producer, who's able to go and do this work. That's why I've got Mel over in the US, and Mel the Phantom Trucker, he's running the chat. And he goes and controls that from the US. Now, it's still building the title. I'm just going to quickly put it to air. Not fully built, but let me do that now. So hypothetically, if we wanted something looking pretty good, Therese and Tor as our guest on the show, we could build that up pretty quickly. Now I'll just turn that off. There we go. Now in parallel, I use two different NDI outputs, one for titling and one for chat. So there's two different halves to titler going out to air. While that's still building that, and it's very slow today, I've got too much stuff running. Let me go and share the screen again. So this is where the chat comes in from Mel in the US. Now there's a chat dashboard that he has. He's got a special web link that he can go to. And Mel goes and clicks on anything that he thinks is interesting in the screen. Now you can see that the Fly Natural one is already on the screen there. And at the moment it's got another one coming in from Chris Hope. It's going to render that. You can see that this little thing spins around while it goes and gets that ready. And as soon as it's green and ready to go to air, it'll go and put that up on the screen as well. And then Mel could go and pick another comment and that would go to air as well. Now, I don't know how well this will work. I'm going to try this, but open... Let me see if I can open the chat dashboard that Mel sees just for everyone else to have a look. So this is just a mini version of it. I'm just going to log into my YouTube, so bear with me while I do that. Okay. Logging into YouTube. So at the moment I've logged into YouTube, but for some reason it's not picking that up. Let me try that one more time. I think that was a previous login session. There we go. So on screen at the moment, this is the chat window, if you like, of what I can see when I'm doing this, or what Mel can see when he's doing it as well. So Mel picks a comment, he clicks the play button all the way from over in the USA, and it comes across to Australia, talks to my title live, and then pushes that out on air. So that's a little bit behind the scenes. Today we've looked at Rendezvous, how to get a guest in. Number 2, we've had a look at Title Alive, how to get some titles in. Now at this point, I would be curious. I'm going to go to the chat room and see if people want to ask some questions about any of this. Therese and Tor on the highway. By the way, just a quick little topic for the guys here who won prizes last week. They haven't yet been shipped. I'm just trying to work out how to best get that shipping to happen. Australia is at the other end of the world, as you can probably understand. So just trying to sort out some packaging for that, but it's going to be sent early this week. Now, I'm not seeing any chat come in. Let me try that again. Last one I saw was Centroid, Therese and Tor, enjoy the weather. Is there anyone still there? Nope. Where is our chat? There we go, opened it separately. Does this only run on the Apple operating system? Is there a Windows version? Yes, there is. So Graham Wilson, it does run on Windows. Ken uses that on Windows. And look, doing live streaming is complicated. There's no two ways about it. You can do a boring live stream where you can use Google Hangouts. Not saying all Google Hangout streams are boring. There's a lot of good, entertaining people there. But if you want to add production value, you need something a little bit different. Wirecast, in my opinion, is the best product for that. There are other products around, but that's just my opinion. Canadian Drone Hub, Roger, hey, hi. So that's an example. Canadian Drone Hub is doing something with their channel, which is on Google Hangouts. It's a different style of show. He doesn't do big fancy production shows, but he's certainly enjoying that as well. What have I broken? Graham Wilson, you said I've broken it. I hope I haven't broken anything that's affecting what's going to air. Do I fear headaches? Yes. Does this run on Mac? Going further up. Therese and Tora on the highway. Looking behind the scenes, and I thought Final Cut or editing movies was an exciting and rocket science art. Yeah. Here's another thing I'm going to share with you just out of interest. So for those of you who watch Ken's show, he's very famous for his sound effects. There's an application that I've got on my computer that's not exactly as good as what Ken does. It's but it's not bad. Let me see if I can share that on screen. So this one is called Farrago. So hypothetically, someone just won a prize on your show. You might do something like, okay, enough of that, or someone who's breaking into the studio. This program is called Farrago. This one is only available for Macintosh. Unfortunately, there are other equivalent programs available for Windows. Now, unfortunately, I couldn't adjust the volume there because I've got something getting in the way of the screen in front of me, the main production console, so I couldn't work out which volume that was. Normally that's not there. It's just because we're doing this weird show today. So there's a few little sound effects. It's a good little piece of software. Like I said, there are many other alternatives. So put that back off. Let me put some chat back on the screen. There we go. So in the chat room, are there any other questions that you guys are asking today about how we produce the live show? Canadian Drone Hub would like to use OBS, but my internet is not strong enough to handle it. Canadian Drone Hub, you could use OBS. I would be, that is not the case. In fact, if you stick around after the show today, in fact, let's do this. I'll paste the Rendezvous link, or Mel, could you repaste the Rendezvous link that I shared earlier? Just so Canadian Drone Hub can come in. We'll have them come into Rendezvous and just, I'm going to explain a little bit about the networking technology of how the bandwidth works and what you need to do with it and all of that kind of stuff. So that would be cool. Let me see if I can scroll back and find that Rendezvous link. Looking. No, that's as far as my chat goes back. I'll just quickly go back to the other computer over there. I'll repaste that link and share that. Won't be a sec. Okay. Okay, so just dynamically reconfiguring the room again. Roger, if you want to do me a favor and hit that rendezvous link, I'll get you to come in, say hello, and I'll share a little bit of info about this with you. Might get my headphones first, though. So let's just talk about internet for a while. This is a really, really important topic. So my internet here in Australia, it's got 5 meg upload approximately, and I've got, 120 meg download. That's what I've got. Using that, I've managed to get 4 guests into the system. There we go. We've got Roger there now. I'll click him. So I'll get you, Roger, to mute your YouTube. I'll just get you to mute your YouTube and I'll put you to air in a couple of moments. Okay. Still hearing, there we go. I think he's muted YouTube. No? Roger, I can see you. Yep. Okay, change source, source B, Roger, and I'll do the same thing over here. Change source, source B, Roger, and there we go. Why haven't I got that up? Change source, source B. Ah, that's right. Earlier on today, there we go. Hey, Roger, how you doing?
Hi.
Welcome to Huseby Drone. Apologies that I don't have my normal camera rig where I am right now, so apologies for that. But yeah.
Okay. I had help with the OBS on my other computer with the DNA. We installed it and everything on my other computer.
Yeah.
And we tried to get it working and everything all right and everything, but we checked my download. My download is 8.0. My upload is 0.96.
Oh, that is not good. Is that still the case?
That's right. That's all I got for internet right now. I'm waiting to get the fiber optics in there. They're supposed to be in about a month or two. So that's why I'm not going to do nothing right away until I get the fiber optics, and then I'll do the OBS. Yeah. But now I got a better computer with a graphic card. It's a gaming computer, so it's going to be working a lot better with that also. Okay. Yeah. So that's why I was telling you, that's why my internet's not strong enough. It's only 0.96. So yeah, I had major problems with it. So that's why I can't do the OBS right away. Okay. So for other people who are interested, though, just a general rule of thumb, if you want to do a 720p stream with at least 2 guests, this is just my rule of thumb. You can do a 720p stream on a 5 meg link easily with 2 guests and still have some internet bandwidth available. You don't want to be running really, really close to the speed of your stream. Just for people's interest, I'm doing a 1.25 meg upload speed. That's the bandwidth that I've allocated for the stream to YouTube. That plus then every guest I have on Rendezvous, I've got to send each one of them video. So Roger's getting maybe not fully 1.25 meg, but he's getting a video feed, and then another guest joins, and that's, let's say, another meg each.
And you want to have some headroom so that your stream doesn't get jerky or buffer all the way through it. I thought I did hear, Roger, that you previously upgraded your internet, or that was planned, or?
Yeah, it's planned. I got the box already for the fiber optic wiring. The company already brought the box in, but now I'm just waiting for the wiring to be hooked up on our street. And it's going to be here in about a month or two.
Yeah.
But I got a brand new computer though, so with a bigger graphic card and everything. So.
Okay.
So yeah. I rather wait till I get the wiring in to make sure everything goes good.
Yeah. I was just reminded by Rick Halber I had 5 guests on the show plus myself a couple of weeks ago. That was a bit of a test stream. So even on a 5 meg service, you can get that kind of number of guests in. Anyway, thanks for stopping by. Thank you, Canadian Drone Hub. For those people who don't know, do go and check out his channel. He goes and does shout outs for a lot of the drone community, letting people know about the different channels that are in this community. So help support him and have a look and check out some of his live streams. Anyway,
thank you very much, Emma.
Yeah, thanks, Rog. I think I might leave it there. I will indeed. I think I might leave it there today. So that was Huseby Drone Live with Wirecast in the Wild, the second version, or the second part of the series. I'm going to post out, not yet, but by the end of the series, I'm going to post out the checklist that I use for people who might find that as useful. If you do want to check out Wirecast, I will say I have criticised Wirecast, as have many other people, but there are challenges no matter which streaming software you use. Each of them have their own quirks and problems. There's a famous saying, the grass is always greener on the other side. I know I was watching Original Dobo at one point, and he was getting really, really frustrated with his streaming software. And no matter which way you go, there's going to be problems and challenges. But this much I can say, I myself and Ken, we do have the ear of the Wirecast support management team, and they are helping to work through some of our bigger issues and hopefully to make it a better product. Anyway, that's all for today. I'm going to go and press some buttons and get to the outro sequence. Normally this gets done by my producer, so apologies if I don't get it quite right. Here we go. Let's see if I can work it out. Okay, there we go. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. I'll see you next time. Bye for now.